Hello and welcome to Decorating Pages podcast. I am your host, Kim Wanup, and I am so thankful that you are listening, and this is a thankful kind of episode. It's my ode and love and appreciation for prop houses and businesses that support us in the industry in Los Angeles and New York. So I have very special guests from Hollywood Studio Gallery in California, Fausto, who runs it there, and Set Decorator Rich Murray, who's been on before, is going to talk about prop houses in New York because I don't know anything about them because they scare me. It scares me to work in New York. So it doesn't sound too scary now that he's told me a little bit about his process. So that's what we have going on now. What Wanup's watching? Well, my own show, Man on the Inside season 2 has dropped on Netflix. Full season, a full 8 episodes. 8, isn't that? I mean, I so wish the story. I think almost anything I'm watching that has been 8 episodes, I just wish was longer, because it just doesn't seem enough to. Oh, it's not enough. What was Task? Was that 8 episodes? That's not enough. That's not enough. But anyway, Man on the Inside this season, we did a college. He's undercover in a college and a university, and tons of classrooms, tons of very character-driven offices. And in watching it, I remembered how many sets we had. We had a lot of sets in that first episode. You're gonna lose count. It's a lot. And the thing is too, we block shot. So it kind of all runs together. It was hard. It was a hard season for that little show. But Ted Danson is so funny, and it's just a nice show. It's just a nice thing to get away from all of this craziness and ridiculousness that we're dealing with in the world, to sit down and watch something nice and funny. Even in that first opening scene, Ted Danson, man, you made me laugh, I gotta say. So, yeah. So, Man on the Inside. That's what I'm watching. What else? Did I watch anything else? Oh, I've watched Tron Ares. I went and saw that because I am going to be speaking with production designer Darren Guilford. Wow, how much work and creativity has gone into those sets. It's amazing, and I really enjoyed speaking with him. I have that coming up. So kudos to set decorator Elizabeth Wilcox also. So yeah. The other film I watched, which comes out Christmas Day, I think, is called Song Sung Blue. It's about Neil Diamond impersonators. It's Hugh Jackman and oh God, I can't think of her name, but the production designer is Clay Griffith and set decorator Lisa Sessions. Um, I loved it. It's a true story, which I'm sure was embellished a teeny bit, but Kate Hudson, that's who else is in it. She's fantastic. She really is. And I had a hard time nailing down what the time period was that we were in, because you think Neil Diamond and you think about like 70s, early 80s or something, but and then I've been listening to Neil Diamond, to be quite honest. That guy had a lot of hits. He had a lot. Bravo. What a career that was. But yeah, Song Sung Blue, it's a period piece. There's some really great older textures going on. The wardrobe's fun. The hairstyles are fun. So when that comes out, check it out. Hopefully I'll be talking to those creatives also. So let's get to it. Let's talk about the first segment here. I have had, when I started this, I made a list of like people I want to interview, and from decorators who I know to decorators I never thought I'd get the opportunity to speak to. And I've been pretty good at checking that list off. It's been an amazing, what are we on, like 240, 235 episodes here. But Fausto, who works at Hollywood Studio Gallery, who runs it, he was on my list as a creative because he's part of this industry. Like I don't feel like you can't not work with him. He's great, and the whole prop house is great. Hollywood Studio Gallery. So in this first segment, we're going to learn about some of the history of Hollywood Studio Gallery and how it got started. How he got involved, which is fun because I actually never knew, because in my head I've thought for a long time I don't want to ask him because I want to find out when I interview him, which is, I guess, a weird thing to say, but I did. And it's just great to always go and sit down and chat with him when I'm at the prop house, and just keeping in touch with someone year after year, and growing as friends and growing as colleagues. It's been great, and so I couldn't think of anyone better to interview as an ode to prop houses for me. And then in our second segment, going to speak to set decorator Rich Murray, who has been on this podcast, I think, at least twice, for Only Murders in the Building and The Penguin. And so he is going to talk about some of the resources in New York City and some of the places he goes to shop. And it seems to me like there are less prop houses in New York, so they rely more on stores and art houses to get their rentals from, and auctions and stuff. So he gives out some great tidbits on that side. Um, a couple of places that I want to give a special shout out to, always Warner Brothers and Universal Prop Houses. I could not do what I do without them. And especially since places like, Sony have gone down, like these one-stop shopping places have really been hit hard. Omega's still around kicking ass, but um, I'm able to work with Warner Brothers and Universal constantly, and it's like home. When you walk in there, it's like when they get something new, it's like someone moved something into your house, and you're like, "What's this? Where'd this come from?" So it's great. It's great to have that. Another resource in Los Angeles that we couldn't live without is History for Hire. History for Hire is a period prop house that has, I mean, everything from vintage music instruments to camera work to grocery stores, um, military pieces, anything, toys, travel luggage, anything period that you're looking for, History for Hire has. And then Advanced Liquidators has become also a huge staple of, if you need office furniture, you're going over there and dealing with the Goldman brothers, and they're awesome and they're amazing. And Julie and everyone there is so nice to work with. So I'm always happy to go with them. And then in the New York side, Newel Prop House, who has such a wonderful history. If you go on their website and look at the history of Newel Prop House, it's pretty amazing. They've been around since 1939 as a furniture house, and then moved into, I think, art, and then moved into rentals, and it's just a really great story I thought that they had. And then I got something interesting, and they contacted me. Ringy Dingy Phones. Ringy Dingy Phones in New York City since 1997, I think it said. If if you check out their Instagram page, it's great because you're just looking at all these vintage phones. And I say all the time how much I miss the weight of a phone. Like, I miss phones. So if you're looking for period phones, office phones, ornate pay phones, phone booths, intercoms, answering machines, they have all that, and they are located in New York City. I kind of wish they were here. Although Warner Brothers has some great phones too, and Uni, great phones too. So yeah, so those are just a couple of places I wanted to give shout outs to. And so in my first segment of this podcast, I'm going to go through a list of almost alphabetical, pretty much I keep to alphabetical, of the name of the prop house, what they specialize in, and if I have the contact. I think all the contact names are still right. So yeah. And then you're going to hear from Fausto, and then you're going to hear from Rich. So I hope you enjoy, and thank you so much to every prop house for busting ass and keeping the doors open, and we appreciate you always. So I hope you enjoy. All right, so let's get to it. In LA, we are very fortunate to have an abundance, many prop houses. There used to be more. There used to be more vendors and stores to hit up. Um, there's a huge decline in the last 5-10 years of prop houses that have gone down and stores that you could rent and purchase from that are no longer available. And because of the industry, because of the economy, because things are expensive, it just doesn't always keep up with the times. So it's such a loss to us when one prop house goes down, because where are we getting that inventory from? And we're lucky that some other prop houses will absorb some pieces and they auction stuff off. If you're on a show, maybe you could buy some. So but it's a loss. It's a huge loss. So what I'd like to do is go through a list that of prop houses in Los Angeles and just talk about what they do and the contact there and maybe a little bit of my experience from each. Um, I'm gonna run down it quickly, but you can find a list of prop houses on the SDSA website under, I think, resources. They have it. They have a whole list, and in fact, they print out. They used to print out. I haven't gotten it in a while because I just use the website now. You can print out the vendor list and you can hand that right over to accounting and tell them these are the prop houses I'm going to use on this show, and they will open the accounts for those prop houses. Having it digitally, now I just email it. I have my own personal list and then I'll add and subtract per show. But that's how I do it. I tell them I want these prop houses, I want to work with these vendors. So yeah. So let's start with A. A1 Medical. Medical dressing, they have older pieces, but mostly newer pieces, which is really nice. Rick Kearns is there, and the staff is great. They they just have, medical is pretty much you go to three places, and this is one of them. I mean, that's where you go. ABC Caskets, Isabella, who has been around forever, and my knowledge of caskets, I wish I didn't know things, but I do. So I'm gonna think of it that way. But she has always been amazing. The selection is great. Dealing with them has always been great. So yeah, ABC Caskets. Advanced Liquidators. So, Advanced Liquidators is a office supply store that also rents, and through the years I believe that their rental business has become, very good, and we work with them constantly. You can get desks, chairs, quantity, bookcases, filing cabinets, and dividers. When you have to do dividers, I've done a lot of that with Mark and his brother over there. So that to me is one of my staples. It's where I go for office furniture. They keep up their quality. They have a lot of turnaround of pieces, new inventory. So always hitting them up. Alley cats, school desks, playgrounds, prison stuff, street dressing. Chris is there at Alley Cats, I believe still. And God, I mean, if you have to do an outside set and just like their name, Alley Cats, they have it. And a lot of it's greatly aged, which is helpful. So that always helps. Alpha Companies, which is one of the medical places, and that it's also a staple because you're going to Alpha, you're going to, they have Spellman desk there, which is incorporated with more office furniture, some really great desks there, some really great character desks they have, and chairs. A lot of the tech medical pieces that you're looking for that your med tech is going to work with, they're going to work with Alpha, they're going to work with A1 in getting all the technical pieces that you would need, the monitors and such. So yeah. American screen and window coverings, Bruce. I mean, that's all we order we do blinds constantly on our shows, and American Screen is just where we go. I don't think I have another vendor for those window for blinds. Art Pick, Marina. Um, Art Pick is great because it's an art prop house that you rent the art from, and it's a lot of modern pieces, big modern pieces, and she works with artists and doesn't might not have everything in the prop house, but she has a great website with the quantity that these artists have, and you can rent, through Art Pick from these artists. So it's a great resource to have if you have looking for like modern art. Daisian. Daisian, drapery. I mean, custom fabrication, they do rentals. We work with Daisy in every show too because we're constantly renting pipe and drape. If there could be another pipe and drape guy in this business, I feel like they would clean up. But mostly we rent from Daisy, and they have a wonderful selection, huge quantity. So, yeah. Dr. Christmas. Dr. Christmas holiday set designs. It is what it. I mean, if you got Christmas going on your show, you hit up Dr. Christmas. They got ornaments. They got garland. They have trees. They pre-decorated trees. They have everything for Christmas. It's wonderful. Big light up pieces. If you're doing a big scale thing. So yeah. EC Props. Put Paul over there. EC Props is the place you want to go if you're doing like streets or something dirty or big crates or electrical equipment, outdoor signage, tools. They have some older pieces of boards, like control boards and panels, any paneling gack that you need to put on your walls. You can rent the wall pieces there. EC's always been great. Eclipse Worldwide is a product placement with John Holtzman over there. They have a great catalog online of things that you can get for product placement. We work with them all the time. Executive sales, Brian, fridges, fridges, stoves, anything high-end kitchen appliances that you're looking for, executive sales, that's who I use. Form Decor. Form Decor is great for quantity of modern furniture, maybe some lighting, but mostly furniture, especially if you're doing like a waiting room or, you need 10 of these chairs and it has a modern feel. Form Decor has a lot of that. Front Row Media with Mimi Clark, another product placement. Tons of product placement through them. They renew different products all the time. They have different clients, so you're always looking to see what she has. Always great to work with them. Gold Room Props, Sean. I mean, if you're doing a gym, the Gold Room has pieces over there and equipment and nice equipment and banged up any look you want. They got it going on. Yoga mat, all that stuff. Green Set. Green Set is a staple of our industry. Green Set Jackson of greens and pots and flowers and decorations. Another great one for decorations and gravestones. I mean, Green Set and Jackson, they're the ones you go to for anything outdoor or alive, anything like that. Fake florals, they have huge rooms of fake florals. So, yeah. HPR. HPR I don't get to a lot because it's mostly hand prop room. But the times that I've gone, they have such interesting pieces. They really curate a lot of stuff, and they have a ton of smalls down there to look through. It's a really great selection of hand props. Heaven or Las Vegas is neon signs. I use them constantly. They have a great website. History for Hire, another staple, absolute staple in our business. History for Hire is, and I always thought such a great name. If you're doing a period piece of wartime, of old TV cameras, anything period, they have it. And they are so knowledgeable about the periods and what would be used when. They are so completely helpful, down to like little medicine bottles, to canteens that soldiers would wear, or that would be hanging in their tents. They they have it all, and they are just Pam there is just a doll. And yeah, anything period that you're looking for, they have. Hollywood Cinema Arts, a wonderful art rental framing. They have some smalls. They they're another place to hit up when you're looking for any a lot of character artwork, I would say there. A lot of that. Hollywood International Placements, Tammy, we work with product placement all the time. They're always great helping out with different products for your show. Hollywood Piano, Glenn, Hollywood Piano. I mean, if you need a piano, that's where you're going. That's it. Done. HSG. HSG is an art rental warehouse of wonderful pieces. It is a huge, big staple in my world. Fausto is on this episode. You'll hear from him in a minute. And just giving us the history of HSG, giving us how the rental process came about, and just interesting to see how he picks his artists also. So yeah, HSG Hollywood Studio Gallery. International promotions, Linda, again, I'm telling you that there's a lot of product placement in here because it becomes essential on shows when you have to do stores and you're looking for products, or dorm rooms or people's kitchens. These products can be seen without being like shoved in your face, and it's great to help out the companies to get them and to get it on your set. It's always helpful. I'm big on that. I would say ISS prop rental. That's where you go. That's where the prop people are. They're hanging out at ISS. So they have everything, and they have in-house graphics they can help you with. They are just a fantastic resource for props. I don't know any person who doesn't go there because they have everything. They have period pieces, they have new pieces, they can manufacture pieces. ISS is an amazing prop house in our world here. International, oh, I said that. Jackson Shrub, I talked about that. Plants, decorations, outdoor decorations, graveyard. Um, they got a spooky carriage. They got sleighs. They got a lot over there. LCW is just another place. If you're doing anything electronic, you're hitting up LCW. They've got buttons, they've got consoles, they have robots, they have everything. They've cleaned trash. You can hit up LCW for those needs, and they work really great with you. They have warehouses, and you can dig around in there. And yeah. Another place that I should have on here is Apex, which is purchase. I think they might rent bigger pieces, but they have wires and bolts and all of the buttons. And if you're on a space show or you're doing a console, Apex LCW is where you're hitting up. Lenny Marvin, huge staple. Lenny Marvin has grown so much in the time that I've been using it. Um, Dan is a fantastic curator of all of their props. I mean, they have everything from picnic tables, umbrellas, bar stools, tiki pieces, casino pieces. If you're doing a floral shop, if you're doing a drugstore, if you're doing a deli, if you're doing a coffee shop, all of these pieces are at Lenny Marvin. They've got a wonderful, wonderful website, and going in there just always kind of makes me happy of possibilities of sets that can be made out of Lenny Marvin. It's really, really a wonderful resource. Lights, Camera, Art is Kristen Peterson has been on this podcast talking about her art print on demand for TV and film. And they run it so that you can pick a piece of art and have it printed at any size that you need. So, yeah, Lights Camera Art is awesome. Lino City, if you need carpet, if you need any sort of flooring, I mean, that's not really our world as decorators, but you can have custom rugs made there. They'll bind them. I've had that done. I mean, rugs. Yeah, I don't know. Lino City. I remember starting out and having to go get samples constantly at Lino City, so it like holds a place for me of nostalgia when I talk about them. Mannequin gallery, mannequins. If you need mannequins, you go on a mannequin gallery because they're in good shape. So yeah, down mannequin gallery. Nest, another staple. Holly has done a wonderful job in curating a specific look of clean contemporary pieces. They have great kid stuff. They have great, smalls if you're doing a kid's room. They have great lighting. They have great smalls if you're thinking of like what's on the entry table, what's on the coffee table. And it's not a huge prop house. It's very specific. They have great art. They also have great art. So it's a wonderful place for the specific look that they have, which is, clean and newer and nice. And I don't know how else to explain it. That's what I go. Commercials use them a lot. I wish they had everything online. They don't, which is a bummer. But you can go and swipe the little QR code of the piece that you're looking for, and you can put it in your basket, and it has all the sizes and everything, so that is very helpful when you're out shopping in there. Omega. Oh wait, I skipped objects. Sorry. Objects is like beautiful pieces, and they have a little bit of everything. So they have some outdoor pieces that are really nice. They have beautiful beautiful cabinets. They have really great rugs. They have great lighting. Objects is a lot of character to their pieces. It's not like generic type things. So objects is great when you're looking for something that has a little color or a funky little shape to it. Objects, and Fred over there who runs it is a wonderful person. Omega Bouchamp has done a wonderful job in reinventing an absolute um, staple. I know I keep saying that, but Omega used to be Cinema Props and CP2 and CP3, and you would go to these different places all on one street, and you could go and get gym equipment, or you could go over here and do your restaurant, or one had outdoor furniture, and now it's all in one location downtown, and just beautiful pieces. It's another place. They have everything on their website, and it's kind of an all-in-one. One of the best things I've always loved about Omega is their drapery and their drapery production. And when it was at its old location, I was at Veep and constantly using drapes being made. They do wonderful work. They can also make furniture. They have wonderful craftsmen who make pieces. So Omega is really the place, a catch-all. That's one of the catch-alls. It has everything. One-stop shopping at Omega. Panicateca is Tia, and Pina is great. Pina, I think, started out like specifically trying to like work with commercials because they would like be open on Saturday or everything. And I'm not sure if they still do that. Probably not, but forget I said that. But they started out more of like art. And so they have a different take on the art and modern pieces, and like they do great framing there. They do fantastic framing. And then they keep expanding to furniture, and they've got a ton of great smalls over there. They've got a really great colorful smalls if you're looking for that. If your kitchens, and if you have to do like an art desk and pieces like that. So um and good rugs, Pina. I would say that's my take on Pina. Playback Tech, Steve Irwin, every show. Every show you call playback. When you're renting monitors, especially, they have period monitors, they have modern pieces, they know it all, and they work with your playback person. So yeah, as playback is another no-brainer. Practical Props. I love Practical Props. Their website is like a little bit older, but they maintain it, but I love it because I've been on it so many times. They have quantity of sconces. They have, beautiful vintage lamps. It's all lighting, by the way. It's all lighting. So it's wonderful resource. I'm so glad that they are still around, and I hope that they never go away because the character lighting that I've rented from them has made a difference on my sets. So I'm always looking to go there. Premier Props. Premier Props is huge, and it's like older pieces, really beautiful, some really beautiful pieces, like cabinets and things. And then if you're doing a Western, you go there. If they used to have, I haven't been there in a while, I'm not gonna lie. The medical stuff, I don't know, it's probably ancient by now, but like they had some Egyptian stuff. They used to have, I don't know. They have a lot of stuff out there. It's a lot of older pieces, but if you're doing like a pirate ship, you're gonna go to Practical. Or you're gonna go to Premiere. Sorry, you're gonna go to Premiere. Prevalent Studios is new, Alex, and they have really great outdoor furniture. They are sleek and modern, beautiful pieces, artwork, and yeah, I just started using them. PSW is if you're doing maybe 80s, 90s, they've got great character pieces of pattern, like pattern furniture, lighting. They have artwork. Really, you're gonna hit there if you're doing a period piece. RC Vintage. I love RC Vintage. If you are doing period pieces, furniture, the lighting, I love their lighting. A casino, they have really interesting pieces and they're great to work with. Willie is amazing. And yeah, I love RC Vintage and it's the place to go. Even if you're not on a period piece and you just want something that's like very distinct looking. RC Vintage, without a doubt. Sandy Rose Floral, Corey Lavelle, another doing florals, doing silks. They do amazing work and work so well with TV schedules. They're amazing. Studio Plumbing Rentals. Another business owned by people who work in the business, so you're always happy to support them. This prop house is specifically plumbing and toilets and sinks and vanities and beautiful mirrors. So Jerry and I think it's Ross, yeah, they run it over there, and it's fantastic and so easy to work with. Anything you need, they got it. Tech Props is also part of Alpha Companies, so Robert. So that's their science and prop rentals over there. And yeah, Town and Country, Angelina. I Town and Country might be Town and Country, Daisian, HSG, Advance. Like these places, I almost email every day on the shows that I am on. Town and Country, if I have to do a banquet or a party, tables, chairs, the quantity, the dishes, the silverware, the glassware, they have it. Or stanchions and the reason you go there is because of the quantity. Other places have pieces too, which are great to use, but Town and Country has the quantity, so always hitting those up. Trove is a shop over in Westwood that has it's purchase. It has a store that you can buy. It's high-end resale, so they have really interesting pieces. They got a lot of great dishware, but like a cookie jar or an interesting lamp. So they have great things in the store there, Danielle. You Frame It Gallery, Adriana, You Frame It is she's amazing. And they do great work. They're super quick. They work with TV and film. They know our schedules and everything. They have a great selection of moldings and mats. So hit that up. Okay, here's the two. Universal, Beverly. Universal Prop House is awesome. And you can get drapery done there. You can get a toilet. You can get a funky couch. You can get bar stools. You can get smalls. They have lighting. They have everything there. So Uni, Omega, Warner Brothers, they would be your one-stop shopping. And that's very important when you have a set that comes up and shoots tomorrow. If I can just take a truck to Uni, take a truck to WB, that's sometimes it has to be like that. So they have a wonderful selection and they overturn stuff constantly, new things, and the drapery department, the rugs, they do a great job over there. And then Warner Brothers, another, like I just said, it's one stop. Robert Greenfield, who is a decorator, took it over, and he has been on this podcast talking about his career. That the Warner Brother has the changeover from what it used to be, which was great, to what it is now is astonishing. It has grown so, even though the building has stayed the same, the amount of props that he has in there, and he has a wonderful like White House section, or they have a high-end section. They have wonderful lighting. Oh my God, the lighting. And they also have an amazing upholstery and drapery. I've had so many pieces recovered there, and I love working with everyone at Uni and Warner Brothers. They just are always just amazing to work with. And that's where you get your pass to WB and Uni to get on the lot when you start up a show, and it becomes part of your circle of the places that you hit. They also, Uni has everything online, Warner Brothers has everything online. Um, I can't imagine LA without those two prop houses. And believe me, a long time ago there was Disney. Sony went down, in the last 5 years. Sony was another one-stop shop, but um, yeah, I can't. I hope that never happens because it will be detrimental to us. I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying I never thought Faux would go on. You know what I mean? There's just prop houses that you get so used to that you can't think of. Wertz Brothers is gone. Like that was like, oh my God, I loved Wertz Brothers. That was a store that you could buy stuff. So you just hope that all of these places, I can't lose another place. And last but not least, Zedonk Art. They have a great little niche of if you need hand-drawn pieces of like you're doing a kid's room or you're doing a classroom, any art projects, science fair type things. They really are a great specialty prop place to grab pieces from. So in setting up this episode, I wanted to talk about LA. I wanted to talk about New York, and because I don't know anything about prop houses in New York. And I wanted to specifically talk to someone who works in the prop houses just to give a little day-to-day and background on one of the prop houses. I am lucky enough to sit down almost every time I go into Hollywood Studio Gallery and speak to Fausto. And Fausto is an icon in I would say, in our world in LA. Everyone knows him. Everyone knows him. Everyone deals with them. And he's great. And he's fun. And he's knowledgeable. And he's so helpful. So I couldn't think of anyone better to speak to, with a prop house. And it's also art. It's not a full furniture place where it's, a huge amount of pieces, but they're very specific and you have to be careful with clearances, and we talk all about that. So I'm so happy that he was able to do it. He's also been on my list, which he doesn't know, list of people to interview in Hollywood. So, because it's part of my day-to-day, it's part of a lot of our day-to-days in decorating to go to HSG. So I'm so happy that he agreed to do it. So here he is, Fausto from HSG.
Thank you. right, I'll start.
Okay, you
Okay,
start.
I was hired back in 1990.
Mhm.
At that time, we still look for jobs in the LA Times in the classified section.
Yeah, right?
It was a little bit of a blurb that busy gallery looking for shipping and receiving person. So I called, I made an appointment. Ralph interviewed me. I went through a couple of interviews before I was hired. At that time, Edward Stevenson, the a gentleman that started the gallery back in 1978, was still very much involved in production design.
Mm,
So he actually hired me. And I started back in 1990 as a shipping and receiving clerk. About a year later, one of the salesmen moved on and he said, "Hey, would you be interested in a sales position?" And I said, "Yeah." I mean, I had been there a year already, so I knew the ups and downs, but I wasn't too familiar with the art. So he gave me a crash course.
mm,
And of course I jumped at it. But I knew that I was not just gonna do that. I was still gonna wear the shipping and receiving hat. So I was doing both. And I did that for about a year, almost 2 years. And then that's when we hired Charlie because it just got too much for me to handle. Um, Hollywood City Gallery was started by Edward Stevenson back in 1978, like I said, because he wasn't finding what he wanted to hang on the walls at the
mhm.
different pop houses. But back in the day, you can tear off a magazine page, put it in a frame, and put it in your set.
Right.
So started, there was a lot of that stuff. I mean, not a whole lot of, but there was a lot of that stuff. And I'm like, wow, you could do that back in the day. But
Yeah,
then
really.
but back in the mid 90s, this whole clearance issue came up, and we edited and we pulled, we cut, we edited a bunch of artwork that had been in the gallery since 1978, and that was it wasn't cleared. So took over, or that happened at the gallery. Um, Soon after that, Charlie became part of our team and a salesperson slash shipping and receiving. But it's been a journey. I was not expecting to be working in an art gallery.
Right.
Brother is the artist in the family, so he's a paralegal. So when I started in a gallery, he goes, "How did you get that job? That's supposed to my field." But I said, things happen for a reason. And I've been here since. It's been 35 years. It has not felt like 35 years, but it's been 35 years.
Doesn't
And sorry,
it goes so
25. I was a 25-year-old when I started. Now I'm pushing 60.
oof,
And
you look like a baby.
oh my, thank you, thank
You and
you.
I, we look like
Yeah,
babies.
exactly. Tara Stevenson too. She
Yes,
she she still looks the same. It's
I
amazing because I was just kind of like, we were at the event last yesterday, and Brenda Ballard walked up to her and says, "Oh my God, you still look the same." I think she has memories of Tara when she was a little girl.
oh, I'm sure. 'Cause she's probably been, I mean, she was working every day in the 90s. I mean, she's long time.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. She was around back then. I remember Brenda. But yeah, it's been I'm a lifer. Everybody here are lifers. Everybody here has been with the HSG for over 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, we're all here for life for the rest of our lives, if God willing and God will have us all. We'll continue to be here.
Which is so nice. I mean, it's in a lot of the prop houses too. It's the familiarity that we have with our vendors and you become friends and you become, you know, Christmas cards and come on over and let's meet up and it's a nice community that we have with our vendors. I enjoy it a lot with the ones that I am fortunate enough to be friendly with. So it is
Yeah,
nice.
a lot of my emails, I mean, although they're business emails at the end, because I've known people for so long that I end up with XOXO Fausto. It's like
Yeah.
to get the this part over with, and that it's there are relationships that we've nurtured for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And not only have we started off as business, dealing with business, but we became friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy to say that I have lifelong friends, and you included.
Oh, thank you. I hope I'm on the list. Um,
Absolutely.
I I always remember starting out and going to the old location on Cahuenga, and there, it's this building that would had like really tall ceilings and just art hanging everywhere, and you could kind of like get lost. Kind of like, I mean, you have that now, but you kind of get lost in looking at all of the different types of artwork that you guys have and curate. And always what runs through my mind still is, I wonder what show this was used on.
Yeah,
Like there's such a history
yeah,
of the artwork that you guys have, and
absolutely.
not that like things are overabundantly used, but it's like a, oh my God, this could have been used in this, it could have been used in that. Like it's so wonderful to have that history that you guys have, and with a
Absolutely.
business that's been around.
It's interesting because sometimes as I'm walking through the gallery, I see certain pieces and it reminds me of, hey, that was on a permanent set back in 1990 for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right, right,
You
right.
know, it's
I
like,
do that.
and it will never lose that. It's forever and ever in my mind and my heart.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's interesting pieces that you'll never forget where you first saw them, who rented it the most, for pieces that were on production rentals, long-term production rentals for years on TV shows,
yeah,
that appeared in movies, and yeah, it's each piece has its own history,
yeah.
and it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
It is. I'm also always intrigued how you put it all together, because your selection, in art prop houses has to go from everyday house to a hospital to a police station to the White House. It's abstract, it's huge pieces, it's little tiny pieces. I mean, the variety that you have is really impeccable. I mean, it's amazing. You could do anything. You could do any set out of HSG. There's nothing you
Thank you.
can't do.
Well, when we first moved to this new location, we were trying to figure out how to display things and try to keep the categories mimicking our old location, so people can still have that familiar
Yeah,
feel when they come in.
yeah.
Because as you know, when you walk in,
The
you're
flow,
just, yeah.
the flow of it. Yeah,
We had our sports, we had our kids section, we had our food section, we had our music section. All these categories, we kept them together as mimicking the other space to keep that, for people to
smart,
continue that on.
smart.
But the way we're displaying things, because we have 73 walls and they're all 13 feet tall. We display things better,
Yeah,
and you can just stand there and just look up and you can see everything. Everybody seems to be very cool with it.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're impressed, and they say, oh my God, you had that? Or is this new? I'm like, no, we had it for
I know.
years.
I'm one of the people who've said that to you. So,
Donald Crafts, he was doing that 80s show for years and years and years. So of course, a lot of the inventory he couldn't use. So this time around, when he came back to visit, he says, "Oh my God, I thought I knew your inventory, but there's a lot of new pieces." And I said, "Donald, they're not new. We just
yeah.
have to use them." The same thing with Rhonda. Oh my God, Elliot, when she was doing Mad Men. She was just 19. It was a
Yeah, yeah.
show.
You don't think about the other
You don't
pieces.
think, and you just don't look
You
at
don't
it.
go in that section.
Exactly. So when she was done with that, she came to me and said, "Oh my God, look at your inventory." I said, "Rhonda, we have the same things for 5 years, 10 years. You were just on the period."
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah,
And you got tunnel vision when you're doing
yeah,
it.
yeah, you got to.
Has clearances gotten harder? I mean, it's so much harder for us as decorators. I mean, they're telling me I can't use seashells. I'm not kidding.
It's the season to come after you. I mean,
I don't know. I don't. They wanted to know where it came from, but I said I bought it, and they're like, "Oh, well, where'd you buy it from?" And when you can't buy from Home Goods, I go, "If I can't buy from Home Goods, I'm out."
of course, I love home goods.
Out.
I
So
love,
it's a seashell. Oops.
yeah. We provide clear dressing for TV and film, and if it's not cleared by us, we can't have it.
Right.
So if anybody, a lot of times people try to donate or sell paintings from relatives that have passed away, or, so I'm like, okay, are you the artist? Because if you're not the artist or you're the offspring of the artist, then are you willing to sign off or give us written permission? And if that's the case, by all means. But if it's something that, hey, I'm my parents passed away and they have a garage full of artwork that they collected through the years. But I'm like, were they the artists? And the answer is no, I can't take it.
You can't take it. Yeah.
So yeah,
It's protect.
definitely clearance is a major factor in how we add to our collection.
Yeah. Because
Absolutely.
not only are you getting clearance from the artist, every show wants to sign an agreement with the prop houses that they'll take responsibility for clearance. And it's, I mean, they do that for EC props. Like, it's like for like pipes and shit. It's like, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, I know it's a big deal, but artwork always is like, is that cleared or, and it's a bummer sometimes because, you find something at a swap meet or whatever that would be perfect and you're like, "Ugh, I can't use it.
Yeah.
You're stifling
You,
me."
well,
But
you gotta have a signature for it. And if you can't produce one, then
yeah.
you just can't. You
Well,
can't.
then I just go to HSG and then I find something even better and then I'm done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How do you the business is starting to pick up. I know we've all gone
Yes.
through slow times and everything. Um how do you guys deal with that? Like do you put a freeze on buying? Do you how does that go?
Well, we the way I look at it, we have good days, we have good weeks, we have good months, and so far we've maintained, we plateaued. We haven't had a dip where we say, "Oh shit,"
Yeah.
but definitely it's maintained. It's plateaued.
Yeah.
Mhm. Um,
You just don't buy things though. I mean, you probably just freeze that,
Well,
I would.
I'm a little more conservative right now,
Yeah.
and I don't buy as much as we used to buy,
Yeah.
simply because there is no funds,
Yeah.
and I watch that, we have added some pieces to the collection, but not like before.
Yeah.
And it's something that we're hoping that in 2026 we can start buying more art. Mm, We're always looking. I'm always looking. I get emails all the time from people all over the world wanting to submit their artwork, and some of it is good, some of it is not so good.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
is in Argentina, and I'm not gonna buy anything from Argentina.
Yeah.
That's $15,000 for one painting.
Yeah. Plus
But
shipping.
yeah, and then there's also the clearance factor, a lot of these folks don't wanna sign off on it because I think they're concerned that we're gonna make coffee cups and T-shirts and reproduce
Right.
their
Yeah. Yeah.
and, and if they can't sign or they're not willing to have their artwork on our website, that's kind of a problem too,
Oh, the
we can
website is great. The website, when you guys did the website I mean, I think it's probably harder for you guys that you have everything online, but it's such a savior. It's a saving point because of how the business has changed and we have to do sets that shoot tomorrow.
right,
I mean, I'm sure that was always around, but it seems more in my career, it's much more probable that it's going to happen this week than
right,
once in a show. It's going to happen almost every week or something. Something's going to come up, especially during COVID when people got sick and everything, and we were constantly changing schedules. So, your website is fantastic, and I know that takes a lot of time to maintain.
thank you. Thank you. Our website, like I said before, Christina is the lady that updates our website, and every time we add something to the collection, she photographs it. We inventory, she photographs it, she puts it on the website and on the database, and she's fantastic that way. But we also recently bought inventory from Faux,
Oh,
and we added
yeah,
that, and we bought some inventory from Maria Nay that she's liquidating her house in Atlanta. Not a whole lot, but we bought some
yeah,
of it. We're always looking. I'm always getting emails, and it's always a fun journey to see what's out there and what
yeah.
these great, wonderful people are generating. But unfortunately, not everything's for us.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
we
Plus, you might have an abundance of that
Oh,
style.
see?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
hard.
So it's hard, but it's definitely fun. I bought some pieces from the SDSA last night. I was a little disappointed because I didn't get the pieces that I wanted. You know, the bidding started really low, which was great. Gave everybody a chance to say, "Hey, I might like this, but I don't
Yeah.
have money." But it was nice, and I think I ended up with five, and they're being delivered today.
Oh, that's
Excited.
fantastic. That is fantastic. Um, the what is your system for things that you want to phase out? Like, do you think is it that oh, we have too many of that? Like, how does that go?
Well, when we moved, and as we
Oh,
were packing at the other location, I was talking to everybody. I'm like, well, this section doesn't go out. This section is doesn't move at all, or this section is completely dead. So when we moved and we were hanging, and there were some categories that I told these guys, we're gonna get rid of all this stuff because it just doesn't rent.
yeah.
So we eliminated maybe five, four categories,
Well,
and the pieces that we kept from those categories we integrated to the other areas where they could possibly work.
mm,
Yeah, and absolutely. We do edit pieces that are considered dead. We just pull from the inventory and either we recycle the frame or we just get rid of it. You know,
yeah.
if it's not generating any income, we're just gonna get rid of it.
And your framing is, I mean, Cody back there is like my BFF sometimes. He's texting
Cody
with,
is a great framing manager.
yeah.
He is wonderful. Joey, his backup
Joey's great.
person and in charge, he's wonderful too. They do beautiful work.
Yeah.
We're very happy and they're very efficient. And they're good people, you know?
Oh yeah, they're fun and suggestive and helpful and quick with
Yeah,
information of like, can I,
absolutely.
is this an inventory? Is this available? Is this Mac? They will do everything. Do you need to
Yeah,
take that? I know you're busy. Well, no, they're great. I love the framing and I use them constantly. I feel
yeah.
like
A lot of people do. Everybody's happy with their work. Thank God right now they're busy. You know, TV has been keeping them busy, and different decorators doing different little side gigs are also keeping them busy. So yeah, we're very happy with what we're doing here and with our frame shop and our frame shop manager Cody and Joe.
do you have outside business besides TV and film? I never know this. I don't know this.
No, everything is our bread and butter has always been TV,
Mm,
and movies were never really our bread and butter.
yeah.
But of course, we'll welcome anybody that's willing to rent from HSG. Commercials have been really good to us since all
Oh yeah.
this shit has been going on.
Yeah.
Commercials had kind of kept us afloat for a couple of months, so we're very grateful that they're using us. But outside TV and film, we do get some requests. You know, we're doing a wedding. We want to just
Yeah.
the
Events.
and stuff like that. But no, other than that, not really.
Yeah. I never knew if you guys did other stuff, but I don't see why you I don't see how that would be consistent. So yeah,
Right,
as we are.
right,
But yeah.
absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for giving me this time because I know you're busy. I know your phone's always
Thank you
ringing.
for having me,
Yeah.
and you know, you're everybody. You're welcome here anytime. You can just stop by and say
Yeah.
hello.
Go back.
And
Anyone, check it out. I mean, anyone should always. I mean, HSG is a staple. I don't know. It's where I go. I mean,
well, I tell people,
we go other places, but did you hit HS? There's not even a question. Did you hit HSG? Like,
well, thank you for we really appreciate your love and support. And I tell people, even if you're not working, just stop by and say hi. You know, if you haven't seen our new location, come back and
yeah,
just pop in and say hi.
yeah.
I was talking to um Sandy Rose. I'm so sorry, what's her name? Corey last
Corey.
night.
Yeah,
And I said, hey, you guys were right next door. And, you know, she said, oh, we were down the street. And I said, honey, please come on in. She goes, oh, we don't want to bother you. I'm sure you guys are busy. I said, we're never too busy to come and say,
yeah,
please don't do that way. Come in and say hi, take a look at the new location. We love to see you. We
yeah.
love to see
I mean, it's fun just to walk around when you don't have the pressure of a show.
Yeah.
Or I always like the when I start a show, I try to hit all the prop houses and try to like put everything in my brain of what's where. But it's so nice when you don't have the pressure of a show
Yeah.
and to sit and talk with you and Charlie and
Yeah. I mean, when you have the time, by
yeah.
all means, it's a different nature,
Yeah.
But yeah, we're very happy here. It's been about a year and 8 months since we moved.
Oh my God.
And
It's
yeah,
flying. It's flying.
time is flying, but we're very happy here. We're very blessed that Tara made the decision to buy the building, and she brought us all with her. And we're so thankful and grateful that she decided to continue HSG and not just fold things up and say, okay,
Yeah.
you good luck and nice knowing you.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine losing HSG. I mean, we've lost a lot of things. I can't imagine it. Really don't say that.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
I feel the love. Thank you so much. It just touches my heart. It's really sweet. But yeah, thank you for having me. And
See, I mean, I know you're listening to this, but the smile on my face and just getting to sit and chat with Fausto is always a pleasure. And I, I wish I got out there more to talk to him. And as I said, it's hard. Sometimes you rely on that website probably too much because of our schedules and the day to day, but I love going into prop houses and chatting with all of the vendors and getting to know them more and seeing what their view of our industry is and seeing, is it busy? Are you guys busy? Like just picking it, wondering, even when it's not like this, like, are you guys busy? Like, oh, we're swamped. Oh, we're dead. So, you're always wondering how it's going because you get so tunneled into your own show that you try, sometimes you don't think about it. You see a lot of tags out, then it's busy. But yeah. So I'm also always interested in New York and how it's going over there. And when I first moved out here, my best friend wanted to get into the business also, and she's a year younger than me. And she was going to go to New York. And I selfishly just wanted my friend out here. But I looked up the production reports, and it was literally like 7 things going on in New York and 70 things going on in LA. And I was like, well, there's 7 there and there's 70 here, so you should probably come here. And she did. And yeah. So I'm always wondering when they say they're busy, how busy are you? But they get the movies. You can't escape New York as a location and a backdrop. So they get a lot of films. And I think New York is a character a lot when you're shooting in New York. So I always want to know what's going on over there. And I've been lucky enough with being the governor of in the Television Academy representing the set decorators. I've tried to incorporate New York and Atlanta and all of our other cities. But I've had Lydia Marks, who is a set decorator who has been on this podcast, on our committee. And I also have Rich Murray, who's on our committee too. And the two of them bring such value in letting us know what's going on the other coast. And so I really love hearing that. He is also a 3-time Emmy winner for Only Murders in the Building. He has been on Madam Secretary, The Penguin. The Penguin. And he's currently on The Diplomat. He's been on American Horror Story, Dispatches from Elsewhere. What else did I see? He did The Nate Berkus Show. He was on Sirens. He's done a lot of wonderful work, so I really value his opinion. So he's going to give us a little insider info of the prop houses of New York. There you go.
Fennec. Yeah. Okay, good. Those are the guys. Yep. All right.
All right. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. You just got to say, you're raring to go. It's contemporary with character. Where are you going?
Contemporary and character. Gosh, it's funny because like on several shows, like with like Only Murders, we were going everywhere, even though it's very contemporary. We started a lot of different antique places. In terms of for the permanent sets and stuff, we would buy a lot from, there's a great place called Black Rock Galleries in Connecticut. And everyone here knows about Black Rock, and they're just, it's a huge, like 2-story warehouse.
Oh, wow,
And they
that's great.
buy estates and they have a ton of stuff come in, but they're also an auction house. And so I buy stuff on their auction sites,
Oh.
site all the time, which is great because they're up in Connecticut. And so it's more higher end, but also very particular and weirdly detailed. So like on Only Murders, I was up there all the time because
great.
it's a great place for fun and funky and neat little things, or giant things. Yeah, great character pieces. But also on Diplomat, we bought a lot of antiques from them, because they're, in Connecticut they have a clientele or a base, where they have a lot of great antiques, mostly American, but you can get some European antiques there as well. And so BlackRock is a place I go to. Like this week on the Diplomat, we were at Newel. And Newel here in New York is one of the like big standbys of like an amazing team, an amazing house, and amazing people. It's great, and they're really, it's a great place to find those particularly antique, interesting character elements. So like the giant floor torchieres and stuff that you have to have in palaces and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Newell's the place for those great elements. Where else? I mean, I do a lot of purchasing on. There's an auction house in South Jersey that does a lot of estate work as well. It's called S Auctions, and it's funny because we go there and you have to have a business license to get there, right? And we go there and we're literally bidding and competing with all of the shop vendors here in New York.
Oh, that's funny.
Right? So it's like we know all of the people who are literally bidding with us. And several shops here in the city are there all the time. And that's a great place because those are all estates essentially, and they have an auction every 2 weeks.
Oh wow, that's great.
It's every 2 weeks, like clockwork, and then they also do one almost like every 3 or 4 weeks on Thursdays online.
It's like RL.
So you can find great sets, entire sets. They have what's really exciting about their in-person auctions is they have like 3 pieces going simultaneously. So out in the backyard, they have a lot of smalls and books and picture frames and things you can, small elements you can pull together. And then they also have like inside they have the higher art frames, a lot of crystal, china, porcelains, and and silver, as the sort of finer details, in all the showcases and jewelry and stuff like that. And then like midday, they turn to the estates and the giant furniture sales. So everything there is you can get everything from Victorian and mid-century, and then they have real mid-century modern.
Oh.
At the end of their day. So it's a full day.
Wow.
It's really exhausting, but rarely do we. And usually, if I'm going, I'm looking for just enough to fill the warehouse.
Right.
When we start
You're
up show.
stocking up. Yeah, you're stocked. So
Yeah, we're
are you
stocking.
bringing a truck? Are you bringing a truck with
next
you?
day.
The next,
We send it next day.
they let you pick up the next day.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. And we then set dressers down and all the bins and the blankets and the bubble and all of that stuff, and an entire team down to pack it up. But honestly, we walk out of there probably with $10,000 to $20,000 a trip.
Wow.
And the prices are great because they're all yeah, and it's totally worth it. And you fill a whole truck that way. So that's a great auction house. In terms of the prop houses here in town,
because I don't know anything. New York has always intimidated me of like, I don't think I could do it. I don't know with all the traffic and it's so congested. How do you do it?
It's tough. Yeah. I mean, we do it because actually a lot of the places now, all of our standby houses have decent enough websites where we can pull stuff. Like for instance, gilt frame portraits, right? So we rented a lot of the frames from our friends at Eclectic Encore. They're an old standby here in New York. We love, walking in, and the team there is really helpful, and they cater a lot to us. Of course, it's an industry. They do also a lot of studio work. You can shoot, do film, or
Oh,
camera, shots there in their studio as well.
nice.
It's funny because although it's been slower in the last year or so here, right? So they're really responsive and really quick turnaround. Like we
Oh,
can
that's nice.
rent stuff online and go pick it up the
Yeah,
same day, the next day if we have to.
yeah.
But they're great and they're wonderful. They've been around for as long as I've been here, for over 20 years.
Oh,
And then Prop and Spoon is a great house.
yeah, I've heard of those. Yes.
Standbys. They're also into manufacturing. So
Oh,
they can build a lot of stuff for us, which is kind of
I like it.
interesting. And they're building a lot of their business out of that as well, which is great. State Supply is one of our great standbys for the sort of the rustic, the antique, the garage,
Oh,
the
yeah.
the
Nerdy.
police office,
Yeah,
the sort. Yeah, I mean, but it's great,
yeah.
and that team has been there for 30 years or more. I mean, and we just love the team there, and often rent a lot from them. You can fill a truck, and like on Penguin, we were there all the time. When we were doing all of the alley scenes and all of
Oh,
the
yeah.
the waterfronts, that sort of the warehousey stuff. We did a lot of stuff with them. Um, who else? We have Gotham Props is a sort of a newer place, newer shop in Jersey, and they have a lot of modern sort of character
Mm.
work. You can build a lot from them. We've rented from them as well. They also have an auction probably about once a month.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, so it's great. Like
oh.
everyone's sort of branching out and trying to figure out how to manage the new economy of auctions versus prop house versus manufacturing. Like everyone
Yeah,
is sort of is doing their own thing, which is great because
it's
it's
really
really
interesting.
really helpful here in the city. Um, Fennec Props is a another house in Jersey. They do a lot of the office space, the police office, but a lot of the funky sort of street stuff, the cool stuff that that you need to find to give a street life that sort of character. That's fun. Who else do we have? A couple of other places, maybe for like a high end
Mm-hmm.
place down in Philadelphia that I just love.
Yeah,
And
I'm in.
I down there, I was assisting Carol Silverman on and just like that.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
and Carol was also the decorator on Boardwalk Empire for several
Oh,
seasons,
which
right?
I loved. Oh my God.
Right, which is funny that because Black Rock Galleries up in Connecticut bought a lot of their set dressing.
Oh, I love. I love.
So you can also go back up there and see a lot of their stuff at
Oh, that
Black Rock.
must be beautiful. Beautiful pieces.
Yeah, it's a great,
Oh,
great place. The Black Rock is great, but in Philadelphia, Calderwood Galleries,
no.
a place I've been to a couple of times, and just like that, we really wanted to. They specialize in Art Deco, and
Oh, wow.
they have amazing French Art Deco pieces here on the East Coast. They're like the best, and they know the provenance of all of the pieces
Oh, wow. They're
in a way that's really great. So you're walking through their warehouse, and like this piece was at the Art Deco exposition in 1925.
I
Like
would
this is,
put that on the set.
it's crazy, right?
I'd be
But
like, oh,
I think we had a couple of great pieces like from Carrie and Big for Carrie and Big's
for their
apartment
apartment.
in season one, and just like that. And but they're fantastic, gorgeous
Now,
Art
are
Deco.
you renting from them? You're purchasing from them. You're
Rent and purchase sometimes. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
kind of great. They're very, very cool. Um, and know like exactly what you need or what you're looking for. You can be very, very specific about that sort
is
of stuff.
is it the norm to branch out so far? Like, are you like, oh yeah, that Philly place, or like, oh, I was looking in Allentown,
Yeah,
or yeah, I was looking up
yeah,
upstate New York. Is it that? Is that?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like New York, probably within like 3 hours of the city is sort of standard
Wow.
zone for because you can send a truck and it'll come back in the same day.
Right.
So like the SNS auction, that's the estate place down in South Jersey. That's about a 2-hour drive. It's just outside of Philadelphia.
Oh, so it's like simple.
And yeah, so we're often out in Philly. Ole Valley Antiques is out in just past like it's about 2.5 hours out into Pennsylvania. It's just past New Jersey, just out of New Jersey.
Wow.
And they are sort of a great what is it? They're the what's the word I'm looking for here?
Like American.
Yeah, they're American antique, but they're the salvage place.
Oh, I see.
Great salvage place. So if you need a mantle,
oh yeah,
and they list them all online, and you can go out on their website and poke around, and they'll send you photos, and then you can go out and visit and take your measurements and get all of that, all the details before you buy. They have a ton of everything, and Victorian is sort of their hotspot, so it's kind of great.
I do feel like the East Coast is more rich in different furniture.
Yeah,
real different furniture.
Yeah, you'll find the American antique out here.
Yeah,
really well.
I was very lucky that on Veep they sent a lot of colonial out here, the Federal and everything.
Yeah, right. Especially for LA.
Yeah, it's not abundant.
I bet you probably called Stanella Antiques. They're in Pennsylvania, and they're really popular. I've worked on Madam Secretary and now on the Diplomat, where they do a lot of Federal, a lot of American antiques, and a lot of colonial work, which is great. Their stuff is just fantastic as well. We have a really great base of antique places to a lot of purchasing. We can a lot as well. And then here in the city, gosh, one of my favorite places is Bernd Geckler Antique House.
I've heard of that. Yes.
And their pieces are like Jacques Adnet, high end, right? Mid-century, they have such great stuff, and it's sort of very esoteric, one-off, exciting elements that are like, oh, this will make the set.
Yeah, this is the character.
It's here,
there it is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they're here in like the Village. Yeah, they're here in Greenwich Village, and not too big of a place and not a large stock, but insanely high end and exciting and well maintained pieces.
Nice.
And they rent or buy. Oftentimes, buying is not in our budget.
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah, exactly. And then, up in Hudson, up on the Hudson River in the town of Hudson, there's an antique warehouse up there, and there are several vendors, and it's a giant warehouse. And oftentimes it's a whole truckload of stuff we come home with from them. And they are just amazing. And all of the vendors each sort of have a different focus or a different sort of feel or look.
Oh, yeah. It's like little vignettes.
Yeah.
And they have different,
Yeah.
Like a mart. Like a mart. Yeah. LA Mart. Yeah.
Warehouse, and everyone has their own stall, essentially. And you can walk through and find there. I find, gosh, I found a lot of like, American Empire, sort of a little pre-Victorian.
Oh yeah.
Find early 19th century goods there. Very exciting stuff, especially for like on the Diplomat right now. We pull a lot of beautiful high-end things. It's interesting because right now the market is a little soft on mom's brown or grandma's brown wood furniture.
Right.
The Chippendale or the Sheraton or the Adams, so that's you can find a lot of great stuff here on the East Coast.
I love
all of these places, right? So for something, and I'm sort of an Antiques Roadshow junkie.
Oh, nice.
I think you have to be sort of doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because they sort of are very like, you want to know the research and the homework and the provenance and and where everything comes from, but it also helps with pricing.
Yes. Like I'm not going to pay for that. Like
we sort of know now.
Yeah.
If you hit a lot of shops, it's tough because some places really, really mark up things in a way that you're like, I don't know if this is right. Let me see what the Antiques Roadshow. And what's really funny is like on Antiques Roadshow, those are all the antique vendors from here on the East Coast.
Oh, right.
So like I go to Rego or I go to Swamp
Oh,
Gallery.
wow.
I go to all of the places that are
How do
on
you have
antique.
time to do this? You're opening up 10 sets a day. You're like, what are you doing? How do you have time to do this in traffic?
Well, that's the TV I watch.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
addition to the stuff that we're supposed to be watching
Yeah.
or what,
Yeah.
stuff that we do. But when I've been watching Antiques Roadshow for 30 years.
So then you've got a map.
Yeah,
Map it
exactly.
out.
And what's really funny is because now Antiques Roadshow has started doing they play reruns of certain bits of some of their segments,
And
and then tell you what the price was estimated in 2009 and then what it is in 2025, so you can sort of follow the market trends
oh, wow.
as well
Good.
to
That's a
know,
great thing.
right? So you
Yeah.
know that this giant, Chippendale Philadelphia highboy that would have been, $75,000 or something, outrageous 25 years ago, and that stuff was very hot. We can find that now at a fraction of that because the market's not hot for that type of furniture.
That's crazy.
And then like in our standard sort of in our designer and decorator building, the D&D building, where all of the showrooms have
Oh, yeah.
all the fabrics and stuff.
Fabrics and
Like First Dibs has in the 200 Lexington building. We have two of the sort of design showroom buildings here in the city. And in the 200 Lex, I think it's First Dibs or Cherish.
yes.
It's a showroom as well. So you can actually go and see a lot of stuff.
That's nice.
And that's great for shopping, right? Because online you see stuff, but you don't know, and scale and detail and texture, you don't always catch online.
Well, the bummer for us is the shipping is
Yeah.
always super costly and
Yeah.
time to ship it. So I have purchased from there, but it's rare and it has to be local.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's great that they have the filters, right? That you can
Yeah.
search local, and they allow pickup and all of it.
Yeah.
Especially, and also on like live auctioneers. I'm on
Yeah.
live auctioneers all the time, especially in the first prep period of every show.
You can
You have the time, you have a few minutes, and it sort of is great on live auctioneers and a lot of these places are on live auctioneers as well, right? So it's
all fun.
we know the houses and we know the places here on the East Coast. But I can find stuff in Palm Beach or in gosh, we just drove a whole truck full of stuff from Chicago and Detroit here.
Oh, wow.
Because we're like, this is exciting, interesting things that are like the placeholders, when we're doing sets, right? You have to find the 3 or 4 really exciting, interesting pieces to anchor the room.
Build it around.
And build around it, and that's where I find like those anchor pieces is usually on live auctioneers. Because you don't know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Until
you see, there's so many times you have to see it, or you're really in person and you're like, oh, that's it. Yeah. Where are you going for art?
Wow. Well, we have a couple of places here in the city.
Do you mostly buy frames and then make your own art? Because a lot of White House stuff. I mean, I printed my own stuff and everything, and you're in that world right now. Or like for murders, I mean, that art was specific to characters and very curated.
Yes.
So
that was actually, it was kind of wild for like in the Steve Martin apartment, because he was an art collector. We had an Ed Ruscha piece. We had an Al piece. We had a couple of real pieces that we licensed and did. But a lot of that, we also go to a lot of galleries here in the city, and a couple of the smaller up and coming galleries, those artists are more than willing to rent or to let us buy and sign releases for, which is kind of the Court Tree Collective is one art gallery here in Sunset Park that I go to a lot. Online, they have everything online as well, and so I stopped in there once. I'm like, wow, this is kind of great stuff. So a couple of their pieces ended up in the Steve Martin set. Murders as well.
I try Etsy sometimes because those artists are definitely always willing to, and I'm always so happy to help anyone. So,
and then of course our old Standby Art for Film in New York, and they have an entire team of artists that they represent essentially, and they either sell or rent or provide the digital copy of pieces so that we
Oh,
can
nice.
create to our own size or whatever our own specifications are. And I know that George did used a lot of their work on Succession.
Mm,
I used a lot
big
of their
pieces. Those
yeah,
are big,
great,
modern pieces.
big, modern,
Yeah.
new, fresh, exciting artists.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to give artists a chance. Yeah, what am I thinking? The Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Oh, are you using that? What do you mean? What do you mean? Are they renting? Oh
No,
no,
we
the
can,
online.
yeah, online, and we can license art from the Met.
You can?
Yes, I
Oh,
think that
I
I
knew
think
that.
you can also do it at the Getty in LA. I think the Getty collection is all free to use.
No, no,
No?
I don't think so. I
Well,
mean,
at least
Getty Images is certainly not free to
yes.
use.
No, but the Getty
The
Museum
Getty
have
Museum,
have their work that I think that is in the public domain.
well, yeah, and it's
Is readily accessible though, and you
what
can
is it,
download the image.
1928?
98, I think, yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's like 95 years, yeah, or something like
yeah.
that. But you can download there because I've done that before too from Getty, the Getty Museum.
I didn't think of that.
I've downloaded art from them. It's funny because like you don't want the big sort of go-to
Popular.
pieces.
Yeah, you don't want the popular stuff because
Yeah,
you're
you dive in a little bit deeper and you can find like you know well, for the Diplomat, because it's the White House, they have access to everything.
right. They can go in.
Right. So you can't
You can.
stop. You
Yeah,
can't
you
use an
can.
Irving Rockwell. You can use anyone's art there. But the Metropolitan Museum of Art, almost everything on you can go and find and or pay for the rights, but you have access to all that art.
Yeah, I think it was Homer Winslow is Julia's favorite artist, and so she requested that we have some of that in her Oval Office, and that was on the domain. That was on
Yep.
Library of Congress, so we got to use some of
Yeah.
those. But yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't
A lot of Sargent,
Getty.
a lot of John Singer Sargent. You'll get all the Homer Winslows. Oh gosh, for Sirens, we did this whole wall of Audubon and Winslows
Oh,
because it was
the
Sirens was about birds and nautical.
Nautica.
It's
See.
the perfect place to do like that sort of old New England entire staircase wall of Audubon and Winslow.
Oh,
And I think a
pretty.
lot of that came from the Metropolitan Museum.
Now, when you're doing some art that's a little bit like generic-ish, or like the mom in the Penguin,
Yes.
like where are you going for that?
A lot of that stuff came from our rental houses.
Just
Because yeah, the
yeah,
rental houses will have that and they'll long-term rent for us.
nice.
And that's where the pieces are more like wall fill
Yeah,
for
like oil
extra
paintings and like
period,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily a big sort of statement piece, or we're not trying to make
No.
a statement with that
Hospital,
wall.
when you're doing a hospital.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
our rental houses here, yeah.
yeah.
The Prop and Spoon and Bridge and Eclectic Encore, have a ton of art.
I know I just always wonder like how many places in New York for rental is it like one-stop shopping? Like we could go here to Uni and they have drapery and you can get stuff upholstered and you can rent and they have art. Do you have
No,
a lot of that?
there's nothing like that
No.
here.
No.
Don't Eclectic Encore does have some soft goods to rent, but not a lot.
Mm.
And that's not something we pretty much make
You
everything
make
here.
all your drapery.
We make everything generally, and there's two or three or four vendors that are the sort of the popular vendors here. And the artisans who make that. In terms of like on Sirens, because the show was all about a billionaire. Every piece of art had to sort of, if it wasn't the Sergeant, or if it wasn't the Winslow, or it wasn't the Audubon, we made it all in house.
Wow.
We made so much. Like our union set dressers and decorators are artists. Where else do we find art? Pretty much. There's so many places to rent here in the city.
Yeah. It's just
It's also a new emerging artist sort of like pop up that happens. I don't know, it's not really a pop up. It's like a whole warehouse of gallery. And it happens like twice a year, and it's a whole showroom.
oh nice.
Yes, and so you can go and buy stuff.
We There's a place downtown called the Brewery where it's a colony of artists and they
Yeah.
live in this old factory and they have
In that building.
it's
Yeah.
so great. Yeah. Down I've hit that many times at the start of a show to like pick up new artist pieces and get ideas. Yeah.
And just to see,
Yeah.
just to
Just
see
to see.
that's
Yeah.
our job, right? Is
Yeah.
to see what's hot right now
Yeah.
and figure out, ooh, how does this work for the show? And then for like a show like the Diplomat, a lot of our work there is done from all of the Smithsonian libraries, the Library of
Yeah.
Congress, again from the Met. We go to the institutions
Yeah.
and find their pieces and send it off to legal and get it all cleared and deal with it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of great.
Uh, what else? Do you have a favorite? Did I ask you that? No. Do you have a favorite? Like, oh, I'm in trouble. But I mean, it depends on the show. I know that. I know it doesn't.
I think that's all of our old standbys here in New York.
Yeah.
The Newel and Prop and Spoon
Yeah.
and Eclectic and State Supply. Hey, I'm in trouble. Wow.
Yeah.
This just happened today.
Yeah. Help me.
Schedule changes all the time.
Somebody help me.
Is it okay if we have our truck waiting when you open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's crazy because sometimes that always happens, right?
Yeah.
Our schedules, especially when COVID was a little crazier,
Yeah. Oh,
schedule
yeah.
was changing
Because
every day.
because actors were getting sick. We
Yeah.
had to do sets constantly.
Right. Actors were sick, directors were sick.
Yeah.
They would have to bump, episodes up or back or,
Yeah.
it was a constant problem. So all of our houses here in the city are really, really fantastic for that. They were very helpful.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this and really educating me on prop houses because it's scary to me. Thank
It
you.
is a little bit, right? I mean, I've done a couple of things. It's tough traveling. It's tough going out of town.
Yeah.
And I've, done a couple of shows here and there. I did a couple of films when I was much younger in LA and seeing what can happen at uni.
Yeah.
or-
Yeah. Yeah. Sony's
And-
gone.
right?
I know.
Seeing those amazing prop houses and going through there and mind blowing to me, right? Because that doesn't exist in New York in that way.
Yeah. Right.
And those places don't, exist here. Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing your homework.
Thank you. Yes, it's great.
Thank you so
I
much.
asked my team. I asked everybody on the team.
Thank you.
Who should we talk
Thank
to?
you.
Or who should we talk about? Because there are a lot of amazing resources here on the East Coast, both in the rental prop places, but also as antique shops.
Yeah.
And New York's full of antiques. It is just exciting as ever. And all over the East Coast, it's great. So
Yeah, you guys have some great resources. No wonder your shows look so fucking good.
well, it's weird because it's sort of.
Love talking with Rich. Even though he was exhausted today, he has so much energy and he's just full of knowledge and has such a great working mind. And I loved hearing like how I go here for this and I'm always looking at that, and that's really peeking into the mind of a set decorator there. So I'm very thankful. He is working on season 4 of the Diplomat, which he spoke about some of the sets that he's currently doing, so I had to edit them out. So I'm sorry if it gets a little choppy in there. But he was given some great insider info, and we discussed that that's probably not something you're allowed to talk about yet. So, but yeah, he's great, and I am really floored of how far they will send a truck, and I guess that's what you do. That's why. It's a fear of the unknown, not knowing how other cities work, or, I have that fear of the unknown. I can't do that, but I guess you just send a truck. You just gotta drive. That's it. So I hope this has given a little insight into our world as decorators and the wonderful selection sometimes that we get and the community that we have together, and being able to rely on each other for business and for, relationships, because as I said, it's kind of a small community. So it's always great to have people you can rely on through this. Thanks again to Fausto and to Rich Murray for joining me, and because people are busy. That's a good thing. So I hope you enjoyed this. I am so thankful for prop houses and for everyone who is working in them and helping us get our day-to-day. It's really been a pleasure to work with these businesses, and I'm sure Rich would say the same. So happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you got an earful. I'm Kim Wannop for Decorating Pages.